Hey there, everybody. Hello, it is Vanessa Kinsey. I am a business and life management coach here in Orange County, California. And welcome to episode 2 of Adventures in Happiness. So, this is my new show that I wanted to do so I could introduce you to the people, places, and things who inspire me. So I have this week, I was preparing, in fact, I had an interview scheduled for today. I really mostly want to do interviews on here. And I had an interview scheduled for today, and I've got a new computer. I got a new MacBook, and I've never had a Mac before. And I have a new program that I'm using. And so I'm trying to work out the bugs with that. And I canceled the interview that I had for today to reschedule it because I have to work out these bugs first. And I guess one of the things, like, first of all, I just figured out, maybe if somebody's on here and sees this, could answer this question for me, because I'm trying really hard. I spent most of the day yesterday trying to get my set down here like dialed in and figured out, because I spend such a great deal amount of time and energy before I do any of these videos, stressing out about the craziest things like the lighting or my set, or just things that I've really been trying to get dialed in. And so now I have this new computer and trying to figure that out as well. And I know I'm probably coming across like I'm shouting, because that's another thing that I'm realizing. The speakers on this computer are really good, so I have to learn how to talk with an inside voice, which I don't have an inside voice, so I'm going to have to try to practice to have an inside voice. But so I'm going to do, really have to be conscious of that. But I thought today that I would use my headphones, but I realized that the headphones that came with my phone, I have an iPhone 8, don't plug into my laptop. They don't plug into my MacBook Pro. And so it's kind of like, I thought there was something. Do you know, if you got an iPhone 8, did it come with a connector to plug it in, like an adapter to plug it into something? Or is that just my imagination? Because I can't seem to find it anywhere. And I guess I should make sure, I've seen other people do this, but I should make sure by checking on my Facebook page that this is actually live and it's actually working, because I guess that's part of the problem, part of the issue too, with this technology and with this program. I just want to see if I'm actually live. So let me check here for a second and see. And and it's not coming up. So I'm going to just hope that you are able to see this eventually. So what I wanted to talk to you about is, I learned something really crazy, amazing this week. And I was preparing for an interview that I'm doing at the end of October. And I would consider myself a pretty organized person. I have to live a pretty systematic, routine life to be able to do all of the things that I want to do in my life, that I want to get done and accomplished. And so I very rarely, probably never, hardly ever, come across anything that I feel like I don't already know. But I did come across something when I was doing my research for this interview, and I'm pretty blown away by it. So I wanted to kind of show you guys, thank you to those of you, when I put up the call this morning on my Facebook page, when I asked, if people could show me their screens of their phones with the notifications. I couldn't use mine because I'd already moved it around, which is what I'm going to talk to you about today, and show you this thing that I learned that my mind is completely blown. And I'm like the least techie person. So maybe you guys know this, and some of you, I'm going to show you some screenshots of some of the people that were kind enough to provide me with screenshots of their phones. But this is just something, I don't know, maybe, I didn't even think that you could do this. And I didn't even realize how amazing it was until I listened to this podcast with this girl, and I'll link it in the notes when I post this. But when I looked at what she did, I was like, when I saw the visual of what she was talking about in the podcast, I was like so completely blown away. It was the very first thing I had to do. Like next on my list, I was going to do what she was telling me to do. I am a little bit concerned that there's no one here live watching me, because I know there were people that were going to see that were going to be here live with me. So I don't know what's going on with Facebook. I can't find it live on here. Coming up on here either. So I'm just going to go ahead and go on with this. And because I wanted to showcase some of these people who were kind enough to let me use their screenshots. And so with this new program that I'm using, as you can see somewhere, I have, you can do your own branding, and I'm in like the very beginning stages of all this. In fact, it's kind of like I feel after like everything I've been doing, since February of 2016, I finally feel like I'm just at the beginning now. Like everything is starting to come together, but I'm still at the beginning. So I've got a long way to go on everything that I'm doing. But this new program that I learned or that I've started using is called Be Live. And it is so cool, the really fun things that you can do with it. So what I wanted to show you, first of all, we're talking about screens today, like phone organization. And I know there's two types of people. There's people that have like notifications blasted all over the place and it doesn't really bother them. And then there are people who have no notifications, who I try to tend to be like more in that side of things, because I start feeling really overwhelmed when I feel like I have all these outstanding things to do. And I apologize because I have not yet learned where I'm supposed to be looking in the camera. So that's another thing that you guys are just gonna have to bear with me. I'm just learning this, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you. So there's two kinds of people, right? So there's this kind of person who has like major notifications, like this, same deal. Okay, these two types of people who have these. Let me see if I can just do it solo so you can see it as a big screen. So just lots of notifications, right? Just lots and lots of notifications. And then I realized today when people were sending me their pictures, their screenshots, there's like a middle ground too of people. And so then there's people who like that are like this. Okay, and so they have like no notifications, right? And that's my little second cousin, Riley Joy. She is so beautiful. So there's people that have no notifications like this. And then there's also people like this who have their screens, pretty organized. Pretty much, there's a lot on there, but it's pretty organized. And then I found another kind of person who, and I would say I felt my phone was like this. So that was more like what my phone looked like before, except I find it really interesting when people don't use up all that stuff down there at the bottom. I just find that fascinating that you don't use your 4 like spaces at the bottom. So that's where I was. I was somewhere like that, and I had 3 screens that I worked off of. And then this morning I realized, because somebody responded, I realized there's people that are actually like this, that have already figured out there's a better way to organize their phone. And I just think this, I'm so fascinated by this. I don't know. I feel like, oh, and this is where I can do something else. And I'm going to go out of order now because I'm getting ahead of myself, but watch this. Oh, shoot. Well, I was going to do something. No, I don't know how to do it. Um, oh, look at that. Look at that. A new thing I just learned. So I'm gonna put my name up on there. I had these call to actions that I want to try and show you guys, but what I learned and what I how I changed my phone um, is just like the whole point of this is making space in your life. I mean, that's what I feel like when you have this digital clutter is just like physical clutter, except you can't lift it and carry it. But digital clutter is the same. It's the same. It carries that same weight around. And so I really like to think that I'm making space in my life for new things and new energy and fresh energy and clearing out these old stagnant things. And I really didn't want to get on this whole kick about like, you know, one way is better than the other or whatever. I do have some suggestions that I think, you know, if you're a person that this is causing you problems, because some people have said this doesn't bother them, if you're a person that's this is causing you problems, then, you know, you don't need to be doing this. But for me, I'm like wherever I can make space in my life, wherever I can be more efficient, wherever I can make less decisions about the things that I need to do, frees up more energy for me to focus on the things that are important to me, which is, you know, I have a lot of things that are important to me and I have very little time to accomplish those things. And in order to do that, I have to be really, really organized. So I thought that this thing that I learned and the way that you know, what I've done here is like crazy. I just think it's amazing. So I'm going to show you my phone screen and what I did. And then I'm going to show you that when you see it side by side. So this is my phone screen now. This is the first screen. I'm only going to work off one screen from now on. And so there's folders. I've made folders for different things that I use. Up in the top right-hand corner, that is my business folder. Those are the things that I use most. I have a folder up also at the top that says life. Those are, you know, like messages and things like that. What's in the folders isn't really important. I just know where things are. But my second screen is like this, and I did this on purpose because this picture is really important to me and I like to see the whole picture. So I didn't want to delete and move the clock over to here, even though it's driving me totally nuts. And I don't know if you can see my cursor on the screen, but it's driving me completely nuts that this isn't even. And I don't have OCD, but I wanted that even, but I also wanted to be able to show this was a picture of my guardian angel in the sky following me. And so it's really an important picture to me and I can remember the minute that I took it. And I love that reminder that I'm always being guided and supported by forces much bigger than me. So basically it's just learning how to make folders to put your stuff in. And it did take me a second to be able to figure out, like, to not get overwhelmed about how I was going to organize the folders. I was just kind of trying to do like a broad, you know, broad folders kind of based on the way that I use them. And somebody had put a post up just a few minutes before I went on, and she figured it out. She already figured out for herself that she was going to use two screens, and her screen, her main screen there's like nothing there. And her second screen were the apps that she didn't use as much. And I think that's probably how like I tended to organize my phone before too, except I have like a lot of apps. I got this new phone. It's like the biggest memory and I'm totally using every bit of it that I can. But that's how I would do it. Like, so my main apps were like on the main page. And, but now with these folders, there's even space on my main page. And I'm just like, mind blown about that. And the things that I don't use like constantly are the things that I need to access quickly, or the apps that I left out. Like, so my IQ app is an app for my garage door. I'm notorious about leaving my house and getting around the corner and feeling like or questioning or driving myself crazy about whether or not I close the garage door. And so that is something that I use constantly, and I'm usually driving or at a light. And so I like to be able to it's going to make it easier for me to find the actual apps that I use on a regular basis, just by it's right there. One of the things that I thought about with the folders, it's almost like closets. It's almost like closets at home where you put things, that you can put things behind closed doors that you're going to use later. And that's what my friend Chris had discovered when she was using the other screen. And I just think these folders, if you want to try it and have it work and see if it works for you, I just think it's a really mind-blowing way to organize your screen and make space in your life. So there's room for new, and it's such a visual thing. So I want to see if I can do my agenda items here. Let me see if I can do this. Why isn't it working? Oh, wait, maybe I need to hide this. Let me try this. Sorry, you're my guinea pigs. Okay, here we go. Here we go. No, that's not it. I have a few of them that I wanted to put up here. So let's see if it's going to work. It's not. Oh, man. Okay, these are the things that I was practicing yesterday, and I thought that I had figured out. Oh, no. Now I get it. I get it. Now I get it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. No, it's not. There we go. That's the wrong one. Commit to trying this. That was like the last thing I was going to tell you. So I'm going to do them out of order. I'm going to do my call to actions out of order. I want to say, if you're a person who doesn't use these, who thinks that your phone notifications are not somehow clogging the pipes in your life, commit to trying this between now and the end of the year. I love this time of year. To me, it's like the first of the year. September 1st is, I feel like it's January 1st. That's the way I use it. These next couple months, September through November, is really my push to finish my year strong. And we all know that December is completely off, totally pretty much out of whack and hectic for most people. I'm trying to change that. In fact, I have some ideas. Hopefully, maybe you guys want to jump on and try to do December differently this year. I'm going to try it yet one more time. But, just try this, because I don't think you understand how much energy you're wasting on these things. So there's that. Okay, so there's commit to trying something different. How do you do that? Is basically when you get something, do it now and make a decision now to do something about it. So I see, when I look at someone's phone and I see these notifications and emails and things just piled and piles and piles and piles and piles. First of all, it's completely, I'll do it later, I guess. I don't know. That's why I was hoping I was going to have live viewers on here with me, because I am so curious about this, about the mindset behind this, and the fact that it doesn't bother most people. It's just, when you're like that, I'm fascinated by that. I really am. Another thing you can do, the emails, and I didn't mean, this is a show in and of itself. I could talk about this the entire time, but one of the things, like a fix, is when you're checking your emails, to unsubscribe to 10 emails a day. This is something that I just started doing when I was on vacation the last 2 weeks. I realized I really wasn't, I wasn't at my computer. I wasn't really into checking my emails, and my notifications, those pile up really quickly. And what I realized when I started saying this, I'm not doing this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to just go in and delete them, because then, just like what's happening to a lot of people, somebody had said this morning, that when they did it, it just, they clear their box, and then they turn around, and it's the same way almost immediately. And that is true. That happens to me, but in order to stop it or change it, it's, start unsubscribing to the emails, what I found is a lot of the emails that I kept getting over and over were the emails from the same place over and over. And I had a major fear of missing out. Like I totally feared, like if I pushed unsubscribe that I was going to miss something. But the fact of the matter is I wasn't even opening the emails to read them anyway. So I was already missing it. And if I come to the point where I need a coupon for Gap or something, I'll just resubscribe to their email and get the coupon or whatever code that comes with it when I do that. And so I've been really myself conscious of trying to undo that and undo those emails, because I really have so many questions for people that have these giant notification boxes, and I'm looking at my screen and looking at all the different ones, and it's just like, when is that, like when you have that many calls or you have that many messages or you have that many, voicemail messages or whatever those notifications are, I don't know, how is that ever going to be addressed? Like, it just seems like sooner or later you're going to have to make a decision to try it. And so, the big thing is downsize your digital clutter. It's not that big of a deal. Like once you start working on it, it may seem really overwhelming to those of you. And I have a hard time like talking about it because I don't really know. I'm guessing it doesn't bother you if you have all these notifications and you haven't fixed it, or you don't care. And someone actually said that they've learned to think or focus on other things. But still, I just feel like a lot of energy is directed at that. And then when there's so many notifications, how do you know what's important? Your brain has to think really hard to try to figure out where it's supposed to go on a screen that has that much going on. And I'm actually, before I stop this, I wanted to show you the side by side of the difference just visually and how much it can take off of your just like mental load when you put two photos together and see them side by side, see a screen that is clutter-free, basically, as clutter-free as you can get it. Well, I guess it could be better. Let me make sure I've shown you everything that I wanted to show you on my call to action items. My big thing is just commit to trying this. That's really what I wanted to ask you to do. And so let me show you like my phone screen compared to, I'm not trying to call anybody out at all. That's not even the point of this. I'm really fascinated. By this, but let me add this to the broadcast. Oh, I'm doing solo. Okay. I don't know. Can I not do it? Okay. I guess I have to be. I don't know. There's a way I cannot be on there, but basically, do you see the difference of being like where your eye goes if you like the difference in that, or even like this, the difference in like the difference in those two screens. There's just so much going on in those, when you do the comparative. I have to check my phone because I don't know what's going on with this broadcast. I don't even know if you guys can see this, but I'm getting notifications, and I just want to make sure that they are not for me, and they're not. So I don't know why this isn't broadcasting live. It doesn't seem like it is anyways. Maybe it is. So anyway, that's what I want to tell you. It is Sunday. I am going to have coffee with Margie. I'm on my way to having coffee with Margie like I do every Sunday. And some of you were kind enough to be on the live that I did with her several weeks ago now at this point. And she did that. She did that live with me, and it was so fun, and it was totally off the cuff. I didn't tell her really ahead of time until we were sitting there that we were going to do it. And she agreed, and she said she would do it with me every week. And then I don't know, I guess she didn't really realize like what we were doing. Like she didn't really understand. Of course, she doesn't have a Facebook page. She's 90. But there's enough of us around her who utilize social media that I mean, I kind of thought she knew what was going on. I've been doing videos for a while now. And so when she agreed, I thought she was like really into it. And then what happened is that video was like viral, and people were like calling her and telling her how amazing she was and everything. And she was so over it. Like she couldn't, first of all, she says she can't even believe why anybody, like we didn't even talk about anything, and she doesn't have any, like we didn't say anything of importance. So she basically feels like we're wasting people's time. She didn't think anybody was watching me. I was like, yeah, great. Thanks, thank you, Grandma. She didn't think anybody was watching us when I was telling her like there were so many people. I mean, that video to date has probably been one of my most, videos. The last time I checked, people had watched it for a total of like almost 14 hours. And so I thought it was really, I think what she has to share is really important, but I cannot convince her to do another video with me. And she's super, like, she's very set in her ways. And so I am not going to, I don't know if I'm going to be able to convince her to come on and do a video with me on Sundays. I talked to her a little bit about it last week, and she's so very reluctant to come on and do this. So if you actually saw that video, and if you could comment below, just like hashtag Margie or something, so I can tell her that people did find value in what she had to offer. And I would like to get her to do another one. And if you're watching this on the replay, I would love it if you would, which pretty much is going to be all of you, it looks like at this point, if you would let me know, hashtag replay, and also let me know the city that you're watching from. I love seeing people, how social media reaches all over the United States. I love that. So actually the world, that's, not even just the United States, all over the world. And I love seeing where the reach of these videos. I have one last favor to ask you. If you found any value in this at all, if there is anything helpful to you in this, I would really appreciate it if you would share it on your page. The only way that anyone sees these videos is by sharing them. And the Facebook analytics, there's all this stuff behind the scenes that goes on. And I am, in order to, spread my message, the only way to do it is if people help me and share this. If you found some value, if you found this at all helpful to you, and if there are people out there who shared their screens with me and who are planning on being here with me live today, and for whatever reason you're not, if you would like to do another one of these and talk to me about this, you don't even have to be on camera if that's too intimidating, but I would really like to have a conversation, not even with the people, just with the people that shared their screens with me. And thank you so much for your transparency and doing that and not being shy about that. Because it isn't about judging. I'm not trying, it's like totally not trying to judge anyone here. I'm just really, my bottom line is I like to help people be more organized and efficient. And because the bottom line is once we're like that, there's more room in your life to have more life when you're not having to deal with all of these things. And no one taught us how to deal with this digital clutter. We've been inundated with this, and no one has, we weren't handed a phone and instructions on how to manage all this stuff. And now we're on the other end of it, of having it long enough to know or realize, maybe some of us, that we're in this point of trying to get a better handle on how to use it. So that's all I have here for you today. Thank you so very much for being here at any time, not just live with me, since there's no one here with me today, but for watching this at all, for taking any time out of your very busy life to be here with me. I hope to always add some sort of value to what you're doing in your life. I really don't ever want to come on here and just be more noise on the internet. There is plenty of that. So that is definitely not what I'm about. And I will link the podcast with Jasmine Schmalhaus. She's going to be my guest at the end of, one of my guests at the end of October. And her podcast is Your Dinner is Planned. So I think that's the name of it, actually. It is Your Dinner is Planned, but I'm not sure if I have it completely right. But anyways, I'll link the exact episode. And I really like all her episodes on there. One of the things that I like most about them is that they are short. So they're like 20 or 30 minutes. And I feel like she adds like a major powerhouse of value in the things that she talks about. And I'm really looking forward to introducing you to her and talking to her myself live, because she's someone who's inspired me for many, many years. So that's what I got for you guys today. Thanks again. And I appreciate you sharing this on your page if you found it helpful. Happy Sunday. Bye.